Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Sarah Sperber and I'm a realtor in the Northern Nevada market. On today's video, I am going to be telling you all about winter in Reno. As somebody who helps a lot of relocating buyers moving into our area, it's a question that I get all the time. How bad are the winters? What should I expect as far as like snow removal? Are there certain neighborhoods that are, easier to manage, or the converse of that? I am a ski fanatic, or I love snowboarding. Where should I move to? So we're gonna get into all that. Stay with me. And of course, if you have any questions at the end, I'm gonna tell you exactly how to reach out to me and get those answered. All right, so the first thing that you should know is that the winters in Reno are typically, now I say typically, but typically pretty mild compared to surrounding areas such as Lake Tahoe. Obviously, Tahoe's right in our backyard. That's one of the reasons that I personally love living here, is that you get the experience of living in a city with all the amenities that are here. And also the altitude here is significantly lower. But if you want to go ski and snowboard and sled and do all the snow sports that we have, it's like between a 30 and hour and 30 drive, depending on which part of Tahoe you are trying to spend the day in. Keep in mind that when you do get out of Reno and up into altitude and you're, crossing over the summit into Lake Tahoe territory, it does get significantly crazier up there with the snow. You're going to want to make sure that you are well equipped, that your car has 4-wheel or all-wheel drive, that you have the right snow tires on, etc. Because if it snows, a few inches here in Reno, it might very well snow a few feet in Tahoe. The last couple of winters, we have had storms that were just relentless. Up in Tahoe, that snow lingers and stays, and there's like days on end of shoveling. Here in Reno, it's much more mild, like I mentioned. It will snow, it might be a little crazy, school might get canceled or delayed, but overall, within a few days, most of it's gone. And in most cases, it's actually gone by the time the sun really hits it. So it's a lot less to deal with here, but you still get the benefit of all the cool snow and winter activities that you have in Tahoe. So one question that I get asked pretty often from relocators is, when is winter in Reno? Like, when is the peak season? So technically it's like November through March in general, right? But within that, it doesn't just like relentlessly snow the entire time during those months. The last bunch of years, it's been pretty common for the snow to really start end of December, usually right in time for Christmas. And I think last year we had a pretty dry January, and then February and March, it just did not quit. So it just depends on the year. And I know that's like a really vague answer, but lately, the last few years, what has been typical has been like very mild with like some really big, chaotic, relentless storms like spiced in. It wasn't like very consistent, although not this last year, but the winter before was crazy. I think we broke a 100-year record. So who knows? Lots of things are happening with the weather. Lots of people are talking about, changes in patterns and global warming and all the extremes that we're all like experiencing. I'm not going to get into any of that, but let's just say that sometimes it can be really unpredictable here. But with that, it's not unlivable and sure is still a great place to call home. If you're thinking about moving here and you're thinking about like which neighborhoods are going to be the most manageable with snow, you're going to want to actually look into very specific things. You're going to want to know like if you have an HOA, what the HOA covers, is snow removal included? Maybe call some neighbors in the neighborhood, or just ask me. I probably have lived nearby. I've moved all over the city in the last 15 years. Just do a little bit of groundwork and try to understand what that specific neighborhood is like in winter, because they're all very different. It's gonna depend on if you have mature trees, if you're up on a hill, or if you're like out maybe deep in Spanish Springs, Pebble Creek, you're kind of like out in the desert. That's gonna have a very different winter experience than, let's say, like Northwest Reno up in Somerset on the cliffs, right? So you just wanna kind of hone in on the specific areas you're looking for, and feel free to just make a list of them and shoot them my way, or ask me personally. You can book a free call with me. There's a link in the show notes. Don't hesitate, or feel free to shoot me an email and I'll just respond there, whatever's easiest. One good thing about living in a climate like Reno, where we have some brutality in winter, is that we're actually really well equipped to handle it. So it's not something we haven't seen before. We had the Winter Olympics nearby, so with that, we're pretty well equipped. And side note, unrelated to weather, our airport is an international airport. We can pretty much get anywhere from Reno, which is awesome. And pretty much anyone from anywhere can get to Reno, which is also awesome. Mainly because we have the Olympics here. Okay, one of the most amazing and awesome things about living in Reno in the winter is the snow provides amazing, amazing scenic beauty. I mean, seeing the Sierra Nevadas with a fresh blanket of white snow is magical. And on top of that, we have a lot of wild horses here. And if you've never seen like a field up against a mountain full of roaming wild horses, you just ain't living, okay? Seriously though, it's incredible. One of the cool things about living here in the winter is that if you're not an outside kid, if you're more of an indoor kid, we have a lot of cool indoor activities here that are open year round. With the casinos, we do get, you know, gambling and all the things. I'm not the biggest fan, but I won't knock you if you are. But we also get really great entertainment, really great food, a lot of really cool cultural festivals, all these things, and a lot of them do take place indoors. So I would say confidently that I'm never bored in Reno. There's always something going on, there's always things to do and see, and that's true in any season. Last but not least, Reno tends to be less crowded in the winter. So if you are somebody who likes to get out and see and do and experience, it might be a good time for you to be here, or, you know, get those plans on the calendar, get your friends to come visit, because you're gonna have a lot less crowds to compete with, a lot easier time parking, a lot less competition for reservations at restaurants, etc. Reno is great in the winter. That's all I have for you guys. If you have any questions about specific neighborhoods, life in general in Reno, what it's like, or if you are thinking about making a move in real estate, I would love to be of service to you. You can book a free call with me. There's a link to do that in the description box below. It's no obligation. It's just an opportunity to connect and see if we're a good fit to work together, or at least get your questions answered and help you devise your next and best steps. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please smash that like and that subscribe button. I put out new videos every single week about the Northern Nevada lifestyle, the Reno Sparks market, and of course, all things to do with buying and selling real estate. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.